Hey YouTube, I want to share a review on my latest dashcam camera. The model number is SPYTEC A119. Now, so far I had three different dashcam. The first one lasted about 10 months and it actually just burned out because I do live in California and during the summer it gets pretty hot. So my camera lasted about 9 to 10 months. And then I went with the second camera and the quality was absolutely horrible. And then the third camera was pretty good, but I got it from my relative, and this is my fourth camera. And so far, out of four cameras that I had, this is far my favorite one due to the quality, and it's not big and it hides under my mirror. So far I'm extremely happy with it. But let's take a look. Number one, the price is $79.95. It is free shipping. There is no tax. So the $80 price, it is the final price that I had to pay for it. Now it does have a clear video. I totally agree with this. Even though the box says 1080, in reality it captures images at 1440 p, which is, it's not a 4K, but it's higher than 1080p. So it's something in the middle, and it's definitely very impressive. Number two, the camera does have a GPS unit that goes at the bottom, so you can see speed and exactly where you're located, and that information overlays right at the bottom of every video, and it shows both miles per hour and kilometers per hour. So if you prefer European system, you can switch, and it's gonna show you kilometers per hour. And if you're in US and you prefer miles per hour, you can switch. Now the second point, it says it automatically turns on and off. I think every camera does this. This is the important one. It says capacitor model for improved performance in extreme temperature, hot or cold. It is true, if you have a battery inside the camera, it's not gonna last you as long. So capacitor is definitely upgraded, and I'm looking forward to that, because the other camera, like I said, it lasted 9 months and I wasn't happy with that. Now the loop recording, I believe every dash camera has this. It simply means if your camera memory card will fill up, it's gonna start erasing the very first video that it recorded, and it's gonna loop, and it's going to keep the last 3 or 6 hours of footage depending on your memory card. If you have a 32 gig card, it will save approximately 3.2 hours of footage. If you have a 64 gig card, it's gonna keep about 6 to 7 hours. They say 7. The website says it stores up to 7 hours with 64 gig card, but I calculated, and for me it looks like closer to 6.2 hours of footage. Also, there's another thing I want to mention. First of all, ignore this 1080p sign. It is 1440 camera. The second thing I wanted to point out is that this camera's final output video, it records in MP4 format, and believe it or not, my previous camera did not record in MP4 format. So every time I would take a micro SD card from a camera, put it in the computer, if I were to save the video, I would have to convert each video file into MP4 format, and it was so annoying. I don't know why would anybody want to produce the camera that records in this weird format, and I would have to convert each video. It was horrible. This camera, it's awesome. It actually records in MP4 format right away. So as long as you have a micro SD adapter and a reader, you can simply take off memory card from this dash cam, plug it into the computer, and you are ready to go. So that's a huge plus. Another thing I want to point out, that this camera does accept 64 gigabyte card. A lot of cameras, a lot of dash cams in previous years, they could only accept cards 32 gigs in size. So this is definitely a big plus. The camera lens, as you can see, I'm not turning it, but it actually goes in 360. You can rotate up and down, left and side, the actual camera lens. So it's pretty good in case you want to have this camera not in the center but at the right side. You can adjust this. This is actual GPS unit and it works excellent. As soon as I turn the camera, it shows me speed and coordination right away. Unlike my last camera that says it had the GPS, that was a joke. Now this camera GPS, it works amazing. It grabs information right away. As far as the cable, what I like about this cable, it's actually longer than the standard size. Usually the cable is about 10 to 12 feet. This cable, I believe it's a 15 feet. And if you will mount this camera in an actual sedan, like a regular mid-size car, you would be okay with 12 feet cable. But if you want this camera for a semi-truck or a bigger car like a truck, the cable 12 feet, it's not enough. And this particular model, what I like about this power cable, that it's actually 15 feet, so it's actually long enough if you are going to use this camera in a semi-truck or a pickup. So that's a big plus. Once again, double tape is actually awesome. I like this. I really don't like dash cam cameras that have a suction cup, because they're kind of big and bulky, and they cannot hide behind the mirror. But the cameras that have a double tape, I actually like to have them behind the mirror, and they don't distract, so they're perfect. And now let's take a look at the sample video that I have. This is actually taken almost at 8 p.m. So even though you see a blue sky, it was fairly dark already. I mean, the sun already went down, so that's why footage is clear, but it's not crisp. During the daytime, the footage is even crispier. Here's some night footage for you. I know it's 8:25, but sun went down about 20 minutes before this footage was shot, so it's a very late evening. Even though the sky looks blue on that footage, it was actually much darker. And finally some footage during daytime. Anyway guys, I hope you found sample footage and review useful. If you like it, please put a thumbs up and comment. Thank you so much. Take care.